I just
I hate it when I check a profile and just before we can get it. But right now, actually, Space Marine has 6,050 MMR. Not bad.
No, not at all.
That's where you want to be, right?
That's the dream. Before Dreamhack Austin, I'm going to work really hard. Yeah, I want to break the 6K barrier.
You need to have a really good day, I guess.
Oh, multiple.
One good day is enough.
Yeah, it has to be a godlike day. We have to really go Super Saiyan. My hair's going to have to go blonde. My eyes have to go...
It is already blonde.
No, it's like, it's dark, kind of. It's not like blonde. I can show you blonde.
It's not Super Saiyan blonde.
I can bleach it and I'll show you blonde.
How dare you.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the game. Obviously, we'll keep you guys updated with what happens with Sulir. Maybe we can show you guys the replay later today when we have a little bit of downtime. I would have loved to show you guys the final moments, but I don't want to hold up the show forever just to see him return and eventually get crushed by a mech army. Because I think that was going to happen, Todd. Over here on the left top side, looking at the main base of our Polish Zerg. He was also at the Intox Free Masters in Katowice. It is Matiz. I know quite a bit about this young man. Just like I know about this one, Todd.
Yeah, we talked about kebabs earlier. There is the KebabKing himself. It's Space Marine.
It's funny that he has that name. Because as far as I know, he's trying to better his life. He's not eating.
I thought you were going to say, as far as I know, I'm the KebabKing.
No, there's only one Kebab King in my eyes, and that's the Muslim. And we all know that. The Muslim has a record amount of kebabs.
Only in Krefeld, though, right? I don't think it's the same in UK.
Like, people don't know this, but there are kebab stores in Krefeld that only open twice a year, and that's when the Muslim is in town, because that's all the revenue they need. The Muslim, like, once upon a time, I think at one Home Story Cup, he had 7 kebabs. I don't know how.
He boosted the local economy. He's going to get like a medal from the mayor or something someday.
It's like those stores are closed all year until the Muslim is in town.
You know, like those movies where like there is a ghost behind somebody in pictures and you realize it later? It's the same with the Muslim and kebabs. Like any picture that you take at Home Story Cup, in the background there's going to be the Muslim's head with the kebab in his hands.
They roll out the red carpet when Ben is in town. Krefeld doesn't have an airport, but when they know that Ben is in town, they roll it out. And all stores are open 24/7. All right, so both these guys, once again, Space Marine from Denmark was very good a while ago. Lost a little bit of motivation, started focusing on the gym life and a couple of other things. And he's still passionate about StarCraft. He's always active in chat channels as well, but I don't think he's like truly thriving, you know, to take his game to the next level. I think there are some other things in life that he cares about right now, but it's awesome to still see him trying, still see him compete. And Matiz on the other end is a pretty hard-working Zerg that plays quite a bit. Always has a lot of games on the account.
Careful with the word hardworking. There's a meme around this. Hardworking Protoss.
I know, that's what I am.
Cap.
So we're going to see a pylon rush here at the third, something that we haven't seen in quite some time. It's risky though, because if you use multiple photon overcharges, can you actually defend at home if he just makes a sick amount of Zerglings?
This is worth it if the opponent makes way too many Zerglings. Actually taking a long time here before triggering the overcharge. Matiz is going to pull back as this one is triggered, but there's going to be a second one ready behind this. I feel like the hatchery will basically never die there unless the Zerg really messes up. It's all about getting the right amount of links, queens, and defending right on time. It's going to force the next overcharge, pull back, and then when that one ends, clear this pylon, adept, and mothership core up just before the hatchery dies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's enough firepower here, even though this hatch is starting to run pretty low on HP, Todd. But there
look at the supply and walker count, man. That's what it matters here. Oh, he gets the drone, actually. That's nice. Here for Space Marine. He's kept that walker count as low as he could, and in the meantime, we've got a roach run on the way. I wonder, like, does he... That's for defense, right?
Matiz is the type of Zerg, Todd, that likes to put on quite some pressure of, let's say, anything between 50 and 55 drones, if his economy wasn't disturbed, or, you know...
What is this Roddy mothership core, man? Just keeps flying across the map, like fights some bunch of queens and stuff, like...
This is a full wallet. No, it's not. He has to be a little bit careful here, because one adept is starting to take quite a bit of damage. He doesn't have resonating glaive yet. But Matiz is the type of Zerg that likes to make attacks of 50 to 55 drones, put on a lot of pressure, and then throw up a Spire and switch to Middleisk. That's the way that he loves to play. Likes to keep the Protoss on its toes, so you're warping in a whole bunch of Immortals and, you know, Zealots and stuff, and then before you know it, 7, 8, 9 Mutas show up at your third base, and you're like, oh my god. This was not supposed to happen.
Space Marine kept his chrono boost on his Cybercore a long time. He finally fixes that as the Robo finishes, and there's going to be a Prism on the way, so he wants to go for some adept attack and warp in across the map. Is I'm guessing what's in the plans.
Actually,
Dark Shrine actually goes down.
Yeah, I like this for Space Marine. I don't think he actually has to go up to 3 bases. If these adepts with that Warp Prism can do some more economic damage, because so far the economy of Matiz has not been very good at all.
But with just 3 gates, it's not a huge commitment.
That hatch is gonna fall, Todd. I think he can just go for the hatch. He has Resonating Glaives, and adepts are actually pretty decent with Resonating Glaives against an hatchery like this, and he will get the kill.
Wow.
Well done.
Very important snipe there. The income of the Zerg is gonna go way lower than you would like it to be at right now. A couple of adepts get caught at the natural as they were gonna try to shade in, but this also disguises the Dark Shrine very well. Yeah, Matiz actually missed that. He has an overlord around the main base of Space Marine, but he didn't send it in. And actually, more gates and pylons going down there. So he might not commit to the 3rd base that I thought he was gonna take and just do a 2 base.
Do you have game sounds, by the way? I'm kind of worried about this because I don't hear units fight at all. I only hear the music, but I don't.
Do Control S, like it's supposed to be on.
There you have it.
Oh man.
Hey, that studio life is not for me, Todd.
It's Prism on the left-hand side, getting ready for that kebab DT drop. And
oh, no cancel on that hatch. Wow.
Matiz completely not ready for this. No Spore in the main, no Spore in the natural, no Overseer. He's gonna get the bad news in a few seconds. Oh, he's morphing an Overseer now. In the natural, I don't know if he can kind of sense this coming or if he thinks
I think he
needed to kill an Observer or something. He
scouted it.
Okay.
That is a fake Prism. The Dark Templars instead
this
is gonna run
very
into
unfortunate,
the natural.
actually. If he dropped them in the main, he would have gotten so many kills, but now he might just lose a ton of DTs doing not much with them.
Well, he might be able to get another kill. He can just kill this almost immediately. Kill it. No cancel!
Oh, that hatchery is just not meant to be. Just don't even expand there anymore.
This is a very frustrating game for Matiz. This is the type of game that makes Zerg players hate Protoss. It's just like, God.
If Space Marine just pulls back, makes a bunch of Archons, a ton of Adepts, and then does the timing with his 3 Immortals, I don't see how Matiz is supposed to hold, especially as he's trying to re-drone a little bit and retake that 3rd base. Like in terms of injects and production, he's just so far behind where he should be right now.
Yeah, he's got a pretty bad economy. All game long, this has just been a very frustrating game for him, right? First, the Pylon Rush was forced to make a lot of links, couldn't get it done. Then lost the hatchery against the Adepts, and to make things even worse, he lost it again against Dark Templars. He's gonna be forced to morph 7 Ravages now, maybe a couple of amazing Corrosive Piles. I mean, maybe he can get it off the sentries here. The Immortals are a little bit exposed. One barrier gets activated immediately.
And no Guardian Shields. Actually, like, he kind of needed that there. Not the best of fights right now for Space Marine. He's still got a lot left over, though, including these 2 Immortals. They're dealing a ton of damage. Just pure Ravagers. He's never going to be good. And he's actually going to shade straight into these Ravagers there. If he can do that and trap them, and he does it.
Shade, left punch, right punch, and that's all he wrote, Todd. Because this Zerg army is dead. Most of the roaches are gone. A couple of Ravages do get away, but this Protoss army was just too strong. I think that was almost like the best fight he could have hoped for. I agree with you, but it just, it wasn't meant to be.
Didn't realize Floyd Mayweather was an adept, but why not?
I mean, that's how he comes. He just floats around. He's gonna just let 2 finish. 2 is, of course, the magic number to one-shot drones. It's always a good move.
Is it like move like a butterfly, sting like a bee?
Yeah, but that's definitely not Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He wishes. One more Immortal. Actually, that's a lot of Roaches and Ravages. There's only a single Immortal remaining. I mean, I still like this for Space Marine, even if he ends up losing everything.
He's got the 3rd base set up now, a ton of probes. You don't want to throw your away. You don't want to throw away your army uselessly, though. So needs to be careful. Warps in sentries at home, and Robo Base now going to go down.
I think that the Prism was just a little lazy. You should have just brought the Prism.
Oh, Shades in the natural. There's nothing there. All of the units, all of the army of Matiz is headed across the map right now, and it's spotted by Space Marines' War Prism. Force fields are going to be ready up the ramp, but he's only got 1 set against a bunch of Ravagers, so if those get cancelled out, it's still going to be very dangerous, and these Adepts across the map.
Yeah, 1 barrier got invited, got triggered immediately. Wow, decent cross the ball, connect with a couple of sentries, but in the end, now a new Immortal shows up, and I think 3 Immortals. It's just a little too much to deal with.
Sentries are the true roaches in that situation. You kill 1, then 5 more come out and force field your army.
Yeah. That's
Down to 32 drones against 55 probes. Bad news here for Matiz.
I mean, he actually only lost 15 drones in this game. That just shows what a great job that Space Marine, in this game known as KebabKing, has been doing. You know, I can't call him KebabKing. Like, sorry.
You just did.
I acknowledge the fact that that is his idea, but there's a potent judge here. This has just been a frustrating game for Matiz. He's just been forced to produce units all game long, but he hasn't really been able to get much done with those units, other than sort of defend. The army over here, the fight that he took where he cleaned up the Immortals, that was nice, but the economy was just too good for Space Marine. I don't really see a world where Matiz can turn this one around, especially not with the first Disruptor on the way.
He's going to need a hell of a fight, and I don't think Space Marine will give it to him here this time around. Looking to try and buy himself some time with some roach counter-attack, but Mothership's in position and ready. Let's see that move up the ramp here.
A few more adepts being annoying at the right top side as the army is
engaging straight up.
Yeah. What do you think about the new Immortal Shield? Oh, not new, but it's been like this for a while. At first, I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but the cooldown is actually not very long. It feels pretty damn fast. So.
And not many people also like try to trigger it, to be honest.
No, I've noticed that as well. I mean, that's obviously the way that you want to abuse it. Just shoot it once. You see it in PvP sometimes, where a single stalker will try to like one-shot Immortal once.
Maybe in like some super high-level games. Yeah. This weekend, we're going to see it from like Nerdchios, Nude, this guy, see Laser.
Maybe a cheeky PvP between Hearthstone and Showtime. Should have some good moves there. But yeah, the cooldown isn't that long, so when you do something like that, you better be damn sure that you actually want to take the fight. Otherwise, the barrier is just up again.
Matiz has a plan here. +1 melee. It's gonna change everything. You have to try something, right? So I guess going for a lot of links to try and swarm and banelings as well to blow up this army. If you get like a full surround and a crazy fight, a lot of these games you can get a sick comeback, but here I just don't see it. It's like a Space Marine would have to mess up big time, completely butcher the force fields, trap his own army in, maybe even detonate his own disruptors on his army for him to lose this.
Exactly. I feel like if he shots his own units with disruptors, that's the way that Matiz can win this game. So that means that if you're a betting man, avoid any bets right now, because this just doesn't. This is not supposed to happen. 50-1
and then
no. Space Marine is not gonna butcher this though. Like this Protoss army is too strong. He has high attack. He's got, I want to say, better upgrades. Which I guess
you would take that bet for like 50-1.
No, never thought. Like, look at this army.
You've taken way worse bets.
You know, there's nothing wrong with betting on Brazilian women's volleyball, Todd.
Even at no, never mind.
No,
not the time. +1 on the way for Protoss as well. I mean, with the force base set up, like he doesn't even need to attack, to be honest. He could just keep on massing.
The only thing you can say that Matiz is doing is that he's just trying to hang in there for as long as possible. Since his economy.
Adepts shaded in natural and got blown up instantly. But that's still worth it for Space Marine to do that.
So one thing that Matiz has going for himself, and that's the only thing, is that his economy has been so bad.
Oh, the disruptor!
The flanking one? No, I think it's a cooldown. Yeah, pretty sure it was a cooldown. Actually, only one of those disruptors is currently able to shoot. A couple of good force fields. He's gonna lose his base again. And
he's forcing Corrosive Bite to be spammed. Oh! That poor guy. His body flew inside of the Protoss army there. The third base gets sniped, and in the meantime, we've got a Protoss on 4 bases. Matiz tries to re-expand on the left-hand side. And charge now on the way. Zealot's gonna be added on.
He's trying to take this base on the left side, but
that's cute.
Space Marine was already there. He's gonna wipe in 6-7 Zealots, so Swarmos is going to be the comeback unit over here for Matiz. And Swarmos are pretty good, but if you're only on 2 bases, I don't think that's gonna cut it. He just lost the base where he actually had most amount of minerals left. Few more disruptor shots, getting a couple of decent connections there. Few more roaches and ravages are gone. Space Marine is playing this incredibly cautious.
But GG gets called. The Swarmos not going to be enough here. About 6 locusts landed on that almost maxed out Protoss army. And Space Marine had it last laugh, that's for damn sure.
This was a real Protoss game from Space Marine. It started off with a Python Rush, followed it up with Adepts with Resonating Glaives, followed it up with Dark Templars. This is the type of game that if you're Matiz or any other Zerg out there, you're just disgusted with the race that is Protoss, because it just never stops. You know, it just keeps on going. But Space Marine was in control pretty much since the very first moment he was able to snipe that first hatch, the first time, or the third hatch, I should say, with the adapts. I think after that he had a hammerlock on the game and he never threw it away.
Good job. Up 1-0 now. If you're Matiz, though, what adjustments can you really make there? Like from the start, I don't think like the initial defense was okay. It's just that behind this,
you know,
he didn't see the next attack coming.
What I would really like to see is if Protoss sends their first adapt and a mothership core across the map and they use 2 overcharges to do damage, why don't you, instead of just making like the 16 links, why don't you keep making links, get an evo chamber and start dropping links in the main base on the other side of the map?
It could be good, but it's very risky against a solid Protoss. Like, even though I guess you're right, because there's not going to be overcharge in defense. I think one thing that's important to note, though, is that when Protoss goes for this and lowers the hit points on that hatchery, obviously they're going to be going for it again, whereas now it felt like Matiz just didn't expect it. When the Adepts came back, there was no transfuse available. Like, if you make extra sure that you crush that next follow-up attack and you keep your third base, that's a lot of effort of Protoss that's been, I guess, headed towards that third base to try and snipe it. So if you don't get it, it's pretty much a disaster. The fact that he was able to get it, though, made it really good for Space Marine right away.
Yeah. I still feel that Matiz did exactly what Space Marine wants him to do. He made quite a few units, which slows down his own economy, but he didn't make that many that it really put Space Marine in any type of danger. You know, it didn't stop the pylon immediately, it didn't shut down the adapt. It was a little middle down the road, and I feel like that's the ideal scenario where the Zerg economy is hurt, the hatch is low on HP, and as a Protoss, there's nothing that you have to worry about on the other side of the map. So that's the scenario.
The sound might be a bit loud, by the way. Like, I read that, but I'm not sure. Do you know what percentage it's supposed to be?
It's 100, the same as yesterday. It's the exact same as yesterday, but our technical producer is on it. I see him moving buttons around.
Yeah.
Both players are ready, so we're just gonna go, go. Please confirm. Then, all right.
By the way, maybe we should just call him KebabKing. Maybe he rebranded.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
He's still Space Marine on Twitch.
Oh, we should have asked him. Yeah, but like, can you? Oh, I guess you can't change your name. It's difficult.
Yeah.
We should.
Do you really think that anybody that has like a pretty solid name, like Space Marine, okay, you know, truth be told, my name is terrible, but Space Marine is also not the coolest nickname ever. But it's a whole lot better than KebabKing.
Well, we're talking about this with Kyle Harris. Don't you remember the Songho renamed like Killer? That was okay, but then he renamed Swagger. Yeah. Like, how about that? Like,
yeah, that was a
talk about a failed nickname change.
That was a poor life decision. If you're Kayla, that's not that creative. But you don't want to be Swagger, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2, which, well, surprise, surprise, is going to be played on Abyssal Reef. The new Overgrowth, the new Frost, the new King Sejong Station, Todd. Everybody loves Abyssal.
I don't know if our Zerg will, though, after this build that looks like he's going to be trying. In this top left-hand side, it's sending a drone across the map for a proxy. It is Matiz.
He's like, you choose me game 1, I choose you game 2. See how you like it, you dirty Protoss. Our dirty Protoss that is spawning on the right bottom side of Abyssal is our Danish star. It is Space Marine.
Also known as KebabKing. How do you have your kebabs, Roddy? What sauce?
Meat,
spicy sauce?
Yeah, meat alles.
With everything?
Yes. Alles erop? Ja, bitte.
You know, from one country to another, by the way, the kebabs really change. Like in France, they put fries inside of the bread with it.
Okay, I could live
it's
with
pretty
that.
sick, right?
I mean, they have like a doner permas here, like that, but that's not really a kebab anymore because you don't get it in the bread. Like, I like fries and I like bread, but the combination of bread and fries, I don't know.
You might as well throw a mini pizza in there.
I mean, that's something I expect in America. Like, I'm sure that they would find a way to make it work. It's like, you want some ham and bacon on it as well? It's like, well, that's kind of weird.
What was it that we saw one time that we thought was going to be amazing? Was it like a hot dog pizza or something? Like,
well, the last thing I saw is that...
then, I remember we ordered it and we were like, this is going to be sick. And it was so bad. Oh my God, like, it was really bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I also forgot it. What I saw lately is a fried chicken taco. So it's a taco that's... The shell is just made out of fried chicken. America, man.
All right, pros.
Wow, he actually, he scouted it because he scouted the main and he saw the double gas and he's like, all right, I'm being cheesed over here.
You cheese me, I cheese you right back on my side of the map.
Wow, and he gets
some probes,
he gets a pylon there. That's really good because he didn't build a nexus. Take a look at the economy in the main. He's only
Ooh,
mining.
links are out now.
Yeah, but Photon Overcharge will be out as well.
Already 2 probes died. Let's see. He's going to use that Photon Overcharge pretty soon, I'm guessing.
But I think that Matiz can just live with this, right? Obviously, it's bad that he doesn't have his own expand, but neither does Space Marine. And Space Marine is losing a lot of mining time. We can see Matiz is already expanding on the other side of the map. I'm
Second
okay with
Zealot,
this.
by the way, on the way. No, not an Adept from Space Marine there. Who's going to be clearing that up?
Probe, maybe? Get a probe? Get a probe. He wants a probe.
I feel like I can never get away, by the way, from these Broodings.
No.
They always skill quite, like, they get a 6 round. I'm like, hey, is this for real?
That one Zealot is actually taking quite a bit of damage. These 4 links, you should keep the links alive, because it's very likely that Space Marine, in this case KebabKing, is going to run across the map and try to do something, because he knows that if he doesn't do anything, then he's the one who's actually going to be behind, despite the fact that he did pick up on this proxy hatch. I did like the way he dealt with it, though, Todd. The Pylon, the Photon Overcharge, the Zealot, the Pro Pool.
Many times I've tried to deal with this just by like ignoring it for as long as I can in terms of probes and then just using units, but then it gets very annoying because you kill the hatchery very late. The creep's not really a problem, but then the eggs that are still there blocking also, and the threat of lava being turned into Zerglings makes it very hard for you to counterattack, so it's very tricky to deal with this, but I like the way Space Marine has done that. And Stargate itself his wall there with the 2 gateways that he's added on. Oh, it's going to be spotted immediately.
It's a full wall off for now. Oh no, it's not. There's sentry on the right.
We'll hold the door, sentry.
It's going to run across the map with 3 Zealots and a Mothership Core. It's just going to force out some units, so this may seem like a very unintimidating...
I think he should threaten the 3rd base, force the tunnel links, and then recall. That would be the best thing that he can do. Like, you don't want to be losing these Zealots if you can keep them alive. I think,
it's not an intimidating push, but it does force out units, so it's still always worth it to do, because keeping these Zealots at home would be completely useless. So I still like it. He's probably going to be forced to recall here. He wants to fight this. Yeah, he's like, no, that's not enough links. I'm going to force out a few more links. Good micro on these Zealots so far, Todd. Look at that. All of them are in yellow HP.
That was sick.
Wow, that couldn't have gone any better for Space Marine.
Matiz fighting against this a little bit too early, and behind this, we've got Oracle being started. And with how low the economy of the Zerg is here, you don't want to be making spores at this stage in the game.
And especially not because he's still going to be forced to make a few more links, Todd. Because he hasn't killed a single Zealot. This base is actually in trouble.
Yeah, all those shields pretty much have regenerated there too.
Wow, that's a really good little push. I said it was not very intimidating. I still don't think it looks super intimidating, but he's getting a lot of value out of it. You gotta be careful with the Mothership Core though. Queen's doing a lot of damage. I would have liked to see him stick around a little bit longer there, but he did force out the 6 extra links. So it's something, and that first Oracle Todd is making his way across the map.
Let's see if he goes for some stasis ward with spores already being ready and in position here for Matiz. Yep. Go get out of here for now.
It's the only spore that's ready, no?
Ooh, let's move out now, though, from Space Marine on the left-hand side. Quite a few Zealots and Sentries. This one, I believe, is going to be completely unspotted, which, if it's the case, like, he could do a lot.
It still is. But he's making a couple of extra links. How many Queens are there?
I don't know if that Overlord right outside the wall that was there for Matiz spotted this, because he's making links, so I think he might have seen it here in the last second.
I think with 16 extra links, since there are no upgrades on these gateway units, should be enough. The Spore, however, needs to stay alive, because you're looking at 2 Oracle stalled, and if this Spore dies, that means that the Queens can't actually help out all that much anymore. One Oracle does take a lot of damage, but it lives. And the Oracles, I think, are going to cause the biggest problem here.
Yeah, Guardian Shield's up as well.
Oh my god.
To help against the shots from some of these Queens. Everything dies pretty much instantly here for Matiz on that location. And an Oracle is going to tunnel some of these probes in the side of his 3rd base right now. Space Marine looking dominant in game number 2 as well.
Yep, I think this is going to be, well, maybe not the end. Force fields, he needs some couple force fields. The Sentry is super exposed, took a lot of damage there, but he does save them. The amount of time that he saved his unit with almost no HP is quite impressive. A few more force fields could go down. He doesn't do it. He's too busy microing the Zealots, killing as many drones as possible. And he's been doing a damn fine job at that, though.
Sickest Mothership Core. 13 kills, 14. Still there and fighting in its old age.
I want to see a time warp, though. Yeah, you can't touch me, time warp. No.
I guess you could just recall as well. Still 2 Oracles alive. These guys are so low on hit points, but he kept them alive the whole time. 10 kills and 7.
No, you got to recall, mate. I was about to say. The Link's countering on the other side of the map, but a couple of Adepts are here. We don't have Resonating Blades.
They're going to get inside. Oh, wow.
Force field.
Last second force field. The Oracles across the map still a huge threat, though, to fly around and kill more units. Even though there is that one Spore. It gets spotted immediately. Good reaction time here on these oracles.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of HP, but he's been getting some sick value out of them, that's for sure.
What a pilot.
The double Oracle combo. You know, Oracle is a unit that I personally have never felt in love with. Because mine just always die. They kind of hover, you know, they don't work like many other units in the game. They float a little bit because their attack range is so short. They always, I always feel like, yeah, I've got a good position, and then the Oracle's like, actually, that's not a good position.
They're not Phoenixes, right?
No, they're not as smooth. They're like, no, we need to get a little closer to the sport, and I'm like, no, no, and then they go, or mine. I don't know what it is.
+1 on the way now for Space Marine. A little bit surprised we didn't see Resonating Glaives all charged, but there it is. It's going to be charged as a choice. I think realizing that Zerg's super low on econ, it's going to be hard for him to get like even a lot of roaches, and he might rely on a ton of Zerglings, in which case you can go for a timing and kill him. Space Marine has played so aggressively. Again, the same move out on the left-hand side with a lot of units, and at worst, he will be trading there. He's got a depth set up on the right-hand side to try and shade inside of the natural at the same time. The two Oracles are still alive and kicking.
Super interesting style of Protoss, right? He's always on the move, he's always active with units, he's always forcing out more units, and he will refuse to let the Zerg get the economy that they dream of. And every time the working count starts looking decent, well, guess what? 6, 7, 8 adepts. Ooh, that's not perfectly timed though. You kind of want to.
The attack on the third base though is being left untouched in the meantime. This must almost feel surreal right now for Matiz to see like a couple of Zealots, 2 sentries, and 1 Immortal attack his base. He must be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
How does this guy keep on attacking? It's like, sometimes you see those Terran games, especially in TVT, where like 1 tank, 1 Hellion, and then 1 Banshee is attacking and pushing and still doing stuff. It kind of reminds me of that right now. Space Marine not giving any air here to his Zerg opponent, and now he's taking the supply lead rally.
That's never a good sign if you play Zerg, that's for sure. Especially with a fort base on the way as well. The only thing that Zerg sort of has going is that he will have access to quite a few Hydra soon, and at least he has the fort base up and running, so the turret is kind of being replaced by the fort. He can make a lot of Hydras and then maybe go for a Hydra Bane attack, but I feel by the time that he can actually truly make a powerful Hydra Bane attack, the Archons will be out. We're not looking at 3 Immortals anymore, but we're looking at 5, 6 Immortals. He also have to worry about multiple stasises. Amazing job that he kept these Oracles alive. Space Marine has actually played really good this series, because Matiz is not bad at all. I
think the one chance of Matiz to somehow come back in this game might be Lurkers, and that's it. Like when I'm in this position, I feel good usually against Zerg, but from the moment Lurkers enter the game, it becomes a different one, but he's not going to be going for it. He's just going to be Swarm Host being added on here for our Zerg player.
Definitely
for now. And Centrifugal Hooks.
Yeah, it's not bad against that ground army, right? And if you need a comeback, Swarm Host may very well do it. I don't hate it. I feel like you have to do something. Just making Hydra Bane is not going to cut it. So you may as well try to think outside of the box and hope that you can get a great fight with those Locusts.
That's a lot of pylons, by the way, here for Space Marine being added on. He wants to go straight to 200 supply. Almost as if he had been in no upkeep, Roddy. And saving all that gold.
Fortunately.
What was the right amount of High Templars that you like here before making Archons?
I'd say like, before you make Archons?
Yeah.
I think a lot of Protosses do like 4 or 5, I think.
I think it's a good number. Like some do a little bit more, but like it feels like 1 Archon less, right? Because you leave some High Templars on some of your bases sometimes.
Like you want to keep at least 4 with your army, maybe 5, and then you also want to leave like 1 or 2 behind against maybe a Ling run by, stuff like this. But
where's the Prism? There's no Prism to reinforce.
Ooh, no!
Not like this.
That was not supposed to happen. I would go back right now and be like, all right. You win.
You want to play like this? 4 Stargates for Beacon.
That's how you roll. Oracle gets picked off as well. Space Marine seems to be choking a tiny bit, Todd. He's making a lot of mistakes now.
Yeah. I think he's a little bit panicked because he knows he can mess up very quickly against Banelings.
And Locust as well. You got to be careful. Locust getting on top of these Immortals. More High Templars showing up. I'm not sure if Storm is ready. One Archon.
So many Locusts. He needs to run away right now. Stasis Wall not going to help either. He was below this. These Oracles finally going down. Couple Zealots sneaked inside of the natural, but there were units there for Matiz to get rid of them. Actually, 2 guys left over. Yeah, but I think they're going to get sniped anyway. It's fine.
Well, actually, in between the games, Space Marine whispered me, and he's like, man, he's like, I always get so nervous playing on stream. I don't know what it is. It feels so much harder.
It's you, man. He admires you.
And I feel like the first game, it looked really solid.
Yeah.
Like, everything he did was good, and I felt the first 6, 7 minutes, everything he was doing is good, but the High Templars again! Oh my god, that's 7, 8 High Templars that have died, Todd.
This is what Protoss nightmares are made of. And when this starts happening as well, and then it happens again, if you were getting nervous, it's going to be happening even more right now.
Especially because you know it's on stream as well, and right now you're thinking like, oh my god, Twitch chat is going to make fun of me, aren't they? Yes, they are. They say I went full NA.
I'm going full Todd, aren't
and I have never been to America, and they're saying that I went full NA right now. This is so not fair. Oh no! Another one. These Banes, Matiz hanging in there with dear life Storm. Decent connection, but these High Templar are still in trouble as well.
I like the split actually.
It's
because
risky,
Zerg is in one location and on creep engaging consistently. Even on the top right hand side, an Immortal and a couple Zealots catching some of these Swabos if you can snipe them.
I feel like the Protoss is playing like the Zerg and the Zerg is playing like the Protoss. This is so crazy.
3 control groups against 1. The roles have been reversed. Finding a location here to do some damage in.
Is he going Colossus? Yes, he is. He's getting Thermal as Archon gets surrounded. I mean, he's doing some damage stuff, but if you take a look at the units lost, you can see that it's getting closer. I mean, obviously, Matiz still lost a lot more throughout this game.
Oh, I like this. He's sending 4 Zealots instead of the natural middle line, and at the same time...
The Immortal Run by Todd. We've seen it all. This is like 7 on siege tanks just rolling across the map. The only way...
No, 7 siege tanks with movement. Why is siege...
He gets the hatchery, but that's an expensive hatchery snipe. If he ends up losing everything, which I think he will. Maybe a Storm? Nope. What is this game?
This kind of wrecked the economy of Matiz, to be honest. Like, look at the income now.
These
on the left-hand side as well. On the left-hand side again. But he's sacrificing a lot of units here to do this. Yeah, but still quite a bit ahead in supply.
I've not seen this in a long time, Todd. We just saw Protoss lose 8 Immortals.
Now this almost feels like he's a Terran, right? Like he's attacking and trading.
Yeah, he's like
at home making a new army. Like this is not what you see from Protoss usually.
He's parade pushing with Immortals. This sounds terrible. Or terrifying. And terrible.
Okay, War Prism now on the map. I guess he might be aiming to go into the main here with this R on the left-hand side.
What a game.
While pressuring with the rest of his army elsewhere. And 5th base is up for grabs, by the way, quite easily here for a Space Marine on his side of the map.
Great Aspire is morphing though, Todd. And that's something I think you're going to have to respect. A lot of Lings are going to try to do something about the base. The pylons ain't done yet. Can Matiz get a cancel on this 5th? Which would
Why
be...
do you take it there?
No, I actually don't mind taking it. Sometimes I take it.
You got a free one, like in the middle of all of your other bases. Alright, well, the Colossus attack below this. Onto an hatchery is going to seal the deal here for Space Marine. He gets the win.
Just choked him out, Todd. I mean, he just picked up enough units, and even though Matiz was picking up a lot of Immortals, the economy of Space Marine was just too good. That was a really interesting style of Protoss, but he got the job done. I don't know what to say. I thought it was fun to watch. In general, I don't think you want to be sacrificing Immortals left and right, but he was pretty far ahead economically, and he got the W, Todd, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah. I want to find out whether KebabKing is his new idea or not.